Hi YouTube, my name is Dom. I want to give you a little bit about my background and plans for the channel, along with show you some pictures of the development of my physique over the past 15 or so years. So I'll start off with my education. I have multiple master's degrees, including a degree in health education. I'm also a board certified behavior analyst. As far as work, many years ago I was a personal trainer. I still do that occasionally for friends, but my time for that's pretty limited. I was a school teacher for 8 years. Currently I'm a principal. I also own a business. My company is called Life Excursions. As far as my family, I have an amazing wife. I'm a new father. I get to celebrate Father's Day, so that's awesome. My son is named Dorian, after the great Mr. Olympia Dorian Yates. As far as my training history, I've been lifting weights for about 20 years. I would say 15 of those years were more serious because of course I emphasized the bench press, squats, and deadlifts. Also, I wrestled for about 12 years, had a pretty good wrestling career. And a little bit about people who inspired me. So when I was a kid, I had a lot of different people I looked up to. I would say the Hulk, Lou Ferigno was pretty awesome. I liked, I also liked Arnold, Manifred Hoeberl, who was a strongman, and he had 23-inch arms, which I always thought was pretty cool. I always had a goal to get big arms. The Ultimate Warrior was a pretty cool wrestler. I liked comic books, so Wolverine was one of my favorites. I also liked Juggernaut, and Superman was pretty cool. People who inspire me now, I'm more into the powerlifting scene, so people I follow include Gibbs, Johnnie Candito, Jessie Norris. I also like pro bodybuilder Doug Mille, follow him. I actually got a chance to work with him briefly, and I can, I'm going to make a video and talk about that a little bit in the future. Other people who inspire me, of course, people who serve, serve in the armed forces, appreciate what you do for our country. People who live with disabilities and continue to work hard and achieve their goals. You guys are awesome. And definitely people who continue to stay active later in life, not necessarily in the gym, but just live a healthy lifestyle, go for walks, take care of themselves. Hope to be in that group myself. So if you're wondering what my physique looks like, we'll take a quick look at the computer. So in the past I was into bodybuilding, and I weighed about, 170 pounds. This was my early 20s. You can see my strengths for my arms, I'd say my chest, my lats, pretty good delts too. For me, it was always a challenge to get my lower abs to come in. Usually that wouldn't happen until below 6%. And you can see that was a weak point on my physique, but definitely tough, because once you get in the lower body fat percentages, your strength starts to wane a little bit. Got to see the wheels, right? So here's a picture of what my legs were looking like when I was a little bit leaner. You can see striations were starting to come in here. I had a pretty decent quad sweep, and I had smaller joints too, so that kind of helped with the illusion of having bigger legs. Alright, some more pics. This is more recent. This is a back shot. You can see I have pretty good lat development. I'd credit that mostly to weighted pull-ups. I've always been good at pull-ups. I also do a lot of heavy rows and deadlifts, so those are great for back. It's kind of funny, I was about to get in the shower. This was earlier last week. You can see I'm quite a bit bulkier now. This took quite some time to put on the mass, but my goal is to compete and set some records in powerlifting. So you can see pretty much built for the bench. I have a pretty strong chest, decent arms, so that's my current physique. And then for comparison, that's me much younger, much leaner. Again, I'd say I was about 170, maybe 172, around 6 or 7% body fat. But so that's just a quick example of what I looked like over the years. All right, so bear with me for a minute. Talk a little bit more about my plans for the channel. For me, my motivation is my wife and my son, of course, my family. I definitely want to enter the USAPL and go after a bench press world record. Most likely John Hack's record. I'd like to see if I can beat that. And generally my goals, my motivation is to improve my 3 big lifts. So my squat, my deadlift, my bench press, all while trying to add some mass. As far as what I'd like to do for the channel, so I'm going to share what I've learned about fitness over the past 20 years. I have some good information that I found from my own research. I've worked with coaches both in bodybuilding and powerlifting, and I've had the chance to meet and work with some professional athletes, which is pretty cool. I'd say I have about 30 or 40 topics I want to go over. So some examples of those topics would include what are the best headphones for the gym. I've tried quite a few pairs. My knowledge about nutrition and supplementation, how to get leaner, how to bulk up, get lean. Some other things would be supplementation. I actually think I have something now that for me has been more effective than creatine for strength, and I know several other people have had success with it too. So again, I'm going to talk about that in a future video. I'm also going to talk about product reviews, some of the things I've used for powerlifting that have helped. Why I believe natural lifters need to train at higher percentages to build mass and also strength. And I'm also going to talk about my experiences with some famous people. To drop some names, UFC MMA champion Matt Hughes. I actually wrestled with him many, many years ago. I got to compete when I was younger with a guy who was in the NFL for many years, and also worked with some pro bodybuilders. One of them would be Doug Mille, who I worked with for a brief time, and nothing but good stuff to say about Doug. He's an awesome guy. And again, I am gonna kind of track my journey as I try to build mass, build strength, and go after that world record for the bench press. So hopefully you'll follow me along, and learn something, and sure I'm gonna learn some things from you guys too. All right, so just want to leave you with this quote. It's your attitude at the beginning of a task that determines success or failure. All right, see you soon, guys.